Hello there, Internet. Version2 here with Let's Watch, React, whatever you want to call it. Pokemon Direct! Hey! February 20-something. Pokemon Direct! If I look like tired or I look like shit, or if the lighting and everything looks shithouse and the setup looks shithouse, that is because the Direct was on at 1 in the morning, which I did not stay up for. So it is currently 6 in the morning. I have woken up after a night of drinking to just immediately wake up, immediately download this by just covering half of the screen with my hands and typing in Pokemon Direct, clicking on the link and downloading it. So I wasn't spoiled by anything, and I'm doing this now, so I don't get spoiled by anything, with me having to go to work immediately after this, basically. So if I look like absolute shit, well, blame that. So you don't have to blame the fact that I just look like shit to begin with. Anyway, on to the actual thing that's happening. Pokemon Direct. Incredibly soon after the previous thing. Makes me think that we're gonna get Pokemon Gen 8 this year. I feel like they wouldn't be talking about it in February if we were going to be getting it over in 2020. And they just want to try and put this close with the other Nintendo news to just be like, hey look, there's still Nintendo stuff. And like, we've still got a full year of things planned. Whether we're going to get anything that isn't Gen 8 before it, like, I think they've done that with previous Pokemon Directs, where it's like, here's a little thing here, here's a little thing here, here's your big blowout of what the game's going to be. Which, that's what this is going to be. This is going to be the big blowout of Gen 8. It's 7 minutes long, but for likely, like, only 3 games or so, it may all be Gen 8. That would be amazing if it was. But I don't think it's going to be. But if it was, that'd be awesome. I don't know what to expect from Gen 8. I don't think it's going to be the drastic shift and change to, like, open world MMO that people constantly rattle on about. I don't even think it's going to be that drastic. My hair's getting in my mouth. That drastic a shift from the core Pokemon games. I think it's going to be, like, as different from Gen 7 as, like, 7 was to 6, 6 was to 5, etc, etc, etc. Being on the Switch, I think, like, you've noticed a trend since Black and White, where, like, Black and White and the DS tried to go, here's a bit of extra stuff, and then, like, open worlds and, like, freedom of movement and everything like that. And then they went to X and Y, was that next? Yeah, it was. And it was, like, a little bit more, and then Sun and Moon was just completely, basically open. Still very Pokemon layout worlds, but complete freedom of movement, complete freedom of whatever. I think they're just going to double down on going with that aspect of it. We're going to have cities and towns that look way bigger than they did in previous things, or like have more to them, I think, is going to be probably the main difference. The battling I don't expect to be different. There's going to be probably a new mechanic they'll introduce that's going to be abandoned in the next one. Like, don't worry, Mega Evolutions and Z moves, no, they're totally still important. And there's going to be something new like that they're then going to abandon later on, which I hope there isn't, because I hate those things. Z moves are cool because the animations are cool, but from a battling standpoint, I don't like them. And most Mega Evolutions look like garbage, and from a battling perspective, kind of ruin the Pokemon who have them, because it's like, well, you're going to want to use them because it's just a massive stat increase, but then it just like, but on all the other hold items, they can, like, do all these different things, and it just loses all that interestingness. And it's just like, I don't like their inclusion at all, especially considering the fact that they're included for a generation, and then abandoned and gone forever. Like, we're not getting new Mega Evolutions of, like, all different Pokemon. We're not getting new of the, Z moves. Well, we might be. I don't know, honestly. The Alolan forms, like, we got mainly Gen 1s for that. And then, like, we're not in Alola anymore, so we're not going to get that. Alola forms are cool, because it was just, like, new types and everything. And all those designs were hilarious. And I'd like to see in this one, a lot of that, form changes for the region itself. Also, if I cast a lot of shadow on my face, last time I used lighting from outside, I've got my phone beaming its torch right into my face there. So I've got, like, this big shadow that goes right over my face, and my eye. I'm rambling at this point, and my pre-discussion's almost as long as the actual video. So let's just watch the fucking video, shall we? Straight into it.
Welcome
no
to
intro.
Pokemon Direct.
Okay, sure.
I'm Ishihara from the Pokemon Company.
What's up? Hi.
Today, I would like to share some very special information with all of you.
Special.
Pokemon trainers all around the globe have already enjoyed
Showing off
many
my clothes
adventures
too.
in various
Militia.
regions of the Pokemon world.
Every region in one, go.
Along the way, trainers have encountered many different Pokemon, battled against countless other Pokemon
Push it
trainers,
over 1,000.
and experienced stories all
That's
their
what I
own.
want.
And this year, a new Pokemon journey will begin for all of you.
This year.
We've prepared a special video to welcome you to the setting.
This
of
is
your
the whole
next
thing.
adventure.
I was thinking there might be one or two other
Please,
things to
take a
Pokemon
look.
projects happening. The whole thing. Well, a minute was intro. There it is. Oh, this music immediately. Oh, that's some fucking groove we got going on there. See, like, look, that is a cool looking house. Wow, a full backpack. Oh, she's cute. I'm gonna play as the girl, obviously. England! This is totally England! Pika pika pika! That was not a new Pokemon, that was a Chinchilla, I think. Pokemon battles. Yeah, just new shit. That looks like a Z-move, actually. Someone, or just a powerful Alpha Beam or something. I think this is England. Okay, those were like Nazca lines. Is that what they're called? Could be wrong there. That's soccer! This is totally England. Not where I was expecting them to go. But that's pretty cool. Can we get some colonization storyline about how England fucks the world? Nah, probably not. Alright. Think it's ish. Here's our firefighting starter! Let's go! I'm not a fan of that one's design. I mean, it's alright. Just looks like a mascot from the 90s. That's a tadpole. Very, very tadpole-like. Hello. Not massive fan of that one. I mean, the evolutions are still a thing, so... That's a monkey. Show us the monkey. I'm not overly a big fan of either, any of them. I don't think any of them are bad. They're just all kind of average. Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shields. Alright, here we go. I like the dragon on top of the sword. I'm gonna have to get it just for that. Damn.
Today,
All
we are
right,
pleased
here
to
we
announce
go.
all new entries in the main series
Pokemon Sword and
Pokemon
Shields.
RPGs for Nintendo Switch, Pokemon Sword and Pokemon
I like how it's like
Shield.
a dramatic cut through for the Sword and Shield is a little bit spiky.
And for an introduction to the adventure that awaits you in these games, I'd like to ask this
I
next
immediately
guest
feel sorry
to
for
tell you
Pokemon
more.
Shields for people not getting it. Also, it's still split into two, which still
I'm
bothers me.
Junichi Masuda from Game Freak, and I have been working
this
as the
point, there's no
producer
need
for these
to.
titles. Right now, we at Game Freak are hard at work on the development of Pokemon Sword and Pokemon
Sorry,
Shield.
I'm only paying attention to his fucking jacket because it's goddamn
For the
incredible.
veteran Pokemon trainers who have experienced so many adventures with us up until now. For the new trainers who held a Pokeball for the first time in the Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu game, or the Pokemon Let's Go Eevee game.
Can we use the
And for all
Pokeball?
those out there looking to become Pokemon trainers for the first time.
My eyes are watering because this bright
These
fucking
games
light
will
is
be
right
new
my face.
entries in
Look
the
how huge that
Pokemon
shadow is.
series.
Sorry,
Role-playing
video
games that will get any player fired up and excited. Since these are new entries, naturally, you'll find that they take place in a new region, with never
Give us a
before
name.
seen Pokemon living there, and new adventures you've yet to experience. So let's turn to the director of these games, our own Mr. Omori, to hear more.
Name it. This is totally
I'm Shigeru
England,
Omori from Game Freak.
I think.
I'm working as the director for Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. The setting of these games is known as the Galar region.
Gala.
Galar is an expansive region with many environments, containing idyllic countryside and contemporary cities, vast plains, and craggy snow-covered
There's like
mountains.
multiple big cities. Isn't it? Yeah. A very narrow region.
People and
I haven't done that
Pokemon
in a
live here,
while.
and they've worked together to develop the industries in the region. Here in this region, you'll visit gyms with the newly discovered Pokémon you choose to be your first partner, aiming for the enviable and admirable title of champion.
Yeah, same progress through all of it.
So let's get to know the Pokémon
departure.
that could be your
This
next
is what people
partner.
wanted. People wanted a core
The chimp
experience.
Pokemon, Grookey. This mischievous Pokemon is
The
full
name
of
makes me like
boundless
it a lot more.
curiosity.
Also, I didn't notice the
The
thing
rabbit
there.
Pokemon, Scorbunny, which is always running about, bursting with
Firefighting!
energy.
So gonna be
And the
firefighting.
water
Fucking
lizard
watch it.
Pokemon, Sobble. It's a bit timid, shooting out attacks as it hides itself in the water. You'll choose one of these distinct Pokemon to be your trusty partner, and set out across the Galar region on a new adventure.
Like, none of them are immediately appealing the way that Rowlet was.
Along the way, there will be many more
But Grookey
never-before-seen
is my favorite
Pokemon
there.
waiting to meet you and be discovered.
I'd like Scorbunny more if he didn't have a bandage across his nose.
As we work on
and I
the
can say he
development
because
of
they're
these
like
games,
75 points.
Our goal has been to create
78.5%
the
male
greatest
starters.
Pokemon experience yet. We're
Greatest.
challenging ourselves to try new things, while still treasuring what makes Pokemon special. So we hope you'll all be looking forward to the
Pretty much what I've
adventures
said,
awaiting you in the Galar region.
So, what did you think? Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield will be released simultaneously.
Simultaneously,
worldwide
thank
in
God.
late 2019.
It's annoying that we still have to
And
worry
that's
that
not
that's a
all
concern.
you'll have to look forward to in 2019. We've got plenty in the
end.
works for the Pokemon brand that we hope will delight you.
Oh,
Thank
but
you all
nothing
for
about what
tuning
they
in
actually
today.
are. Alright. That was 7 minutes, and it was 7... And there was still a lot of fluff in it. That's... Oh, it's playing again. God damn it. I should have learned this from last time. Turn off the fucking looping thing when I do this. But no, I'm an idiot, so never mind. I'm never gonna learn. That was 7 minutes, and... like 6 minutes of it was filler. I feel this didn't need to be a direct. I mean, they wanted it to be a direct because a direct gets people talking, gets people doing things like I'm doing right now, gets people writing articles about it everywhere. More than just, here's a trailer for the new game. But this didn't need to be a direct. Like, it was literally just them talking to us about how, like, we're going to be making the game. And we're going to be making the game. And don't worry. Fans, we're making the game. What we saw there, like, idyllic countrysides, and you got your towns, and of course your typical, like, Pokemon, oh, here's your snow environment, and everything like that. It definitely looks England. I'm basing that mainly on the fact that like, the towns have that feel to it, along with countryside towns. Is a very England/UK feeling to it. Whether it might be, I could be wrong on that. Just because there are certain aspects of it that don't feel super British about it, but it feels like that, or at least feels like white European in that sense, which is a good way for it to go. It's hard to really give any any more thoughts on it. I'm excited for it. It looks cool. It's a very straight up path for the whole region, which I guess is kind of England, because England's a tiny fucking country. But it's just, like, Alola was like 4 islands, and then, I don't even remember the name of the one from X and Y. But X and Y was like a pretty wide thing that you, like, kind of went across. Like, you would, like, Sinnoh was also a bit, even Home was like, yeah, it's been a while since it's just been a straight path upwards. I guess. Well, and again, I'm forgetting the name of what it, Unova was black and white, and that was kind of like 3 separate things like that. Like, it looks like a tiny region. I mean, it might be incredibly long. I mean, there's a big town here and then a big town further up. But it doesn't look like a huge region because it's just like one big straight narrow path up. It's a very different design for a region from what we've recently seen. So that's interesting. Like a full all-connected world to explore, which there might be a reason that they didn't do that for Alola, because maybe like the 3DS could only handle 4 individual islands separated, so it didn't have to like worry about, oh, you don't have to load the other islands unless you're flying to it at all. So maybe that was the reason for that. I'm not 100% sure. I don't really have any more to say. Looks cool. I'm excited for it. The starters are disappointing. The name Sword and Shield is cool. makes me think of what the legendaries are going to be, if they're going to be related to Sword and Shields. Because they're related to Sun and Moon in that, and they're related to X and Y before, related to Black and White before. So Sword and Shield are very particular things. AG/ has now 2 forms, separated into 2 separate Pokemon, and they're now legendaries. That won't be the case. But, yeah. A lot less information in this than I was expecting, honestly. But it's still cool to see it, and it looks like Pokemon. The stuff they showed off was just like, don't worry, this is what you expect from a core Pokemon game. This is what you're gonna get, and you'll be happy with it. I just wish I had any of the starters that I could, like, fight and die over on Twitter, instead of not particularly caring about most of them. Anyways, I'm gonna just be rambling because there's nothing else to say, because there was very little information in that. That trailer could have been just uploaded as a trailer, and we would know exactly as much by that as we did from this. Anyway, on the next React video, maybe I'll have a little bit more to react to. So until then, this is Version2, signing out.